Welcome to another episode of Bischel Ball. My name is JP Sponseller, joined by Cole Harding and Corey Klingenbeck, as always.
Yes, sir.
Kling, this
What we got?
I believe this episode, as always, is sponsored by Mio's Pizza. Can you please hit us with the ad?
Yeah, this episode is sponsored by Mio's Pizzeria. Cincinnati Bearcats fans, we would like to invite you to Mio's, conveniently located on Short Vaughn. Before every home game, enjoy $2 Coors Lights and $4 Traveler Whiskey Lemonades. Enjoy a family fun environment for pregame food and entertainment before Bearcats baseball games. Right after they serve you with ice cold beer, mixed drinks, and hot pizza, take a nice little quarter-mile stroll over to the UC Baseball Stadium to cheer on your Bearcats. Mio's will also be streaming every Bearcat baseball game that airs on ESPN Plus inside the bar as well, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Cling,
Absolutely.
one question for you. How far is Mio's from the baseball?
It's a quarter of a mile, which would probably approximately
Like
come out.
0.65 or
Approximately
0.25?
come out with 0.25 on the
Okay.
spectrum. There we go.
Just want to make sure. Yeah.
We need some energy at Mio's this weekend.
I actually got a text from our guy.
Ooh.
He said, "You guys coming tomorrow?" And I was like, "Dang, I won't be in attendance." But
Let them know I might be there. Yeah, we'll make it happen. Maybe I'll get one of those Mio's hats and put it on. You rocking that thing?
Mio's.
It's going to be too warm for a beanie, no?
Well, it's
He'll
style.
probably have some more gear.
Fix. That's just style.
Shout out Rich. He's probably got some gear tucked under there somewhere.
Rich,
Yeah,
Rich,
they got some gear.
I need a Mio shirt. That'd be tight.
But yeah, we need some people at the park and at Mio's Pizza this weekend.
Definitely.
We need some support. This is we'll talk about it in a little bit. Where do we want to start? Do we want to just air it out and give some thoughts? Do we want to talk about the three games specifically, air it out after? How do we want to do this?
I think we just kind of roll over this. I feel like every game was pretty similar. Maybe outside game one at Oak State, the last two games I felt were pretty similar.
See,
you were on site.
I was on site. Okay,
why don't you start with that? Start with that.
I personally feel like, and obviously I know, like when you're watching on TV and doing different stuff, like it's easy to walk away for an inning and see the score and be like, oh shit. Yeah. So I do feel like all of these games were a little bit different. I'll start off. That stadium is awesome.
Glad you made it down there, by the way.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the town is really cool. Yeah. It's just an old, small town, college town. And yeah, I just think as far as, I don't know about other Bearcat fans, but I enjoy seeing these different schools and campuses, being in the Big 12 and traveling around. So whether it's a football game or they have a hell of a baseball stadium, obviously we got some baseball fans listening. So I think if you like traveling around the Big 12, that should be on your bucket list of places. It's awesome. It was a great time. Great people too. Obviously, as an opposing fan, I did not get any chirps. Not that these game like
it wasn't much.
We were in position where like if they were chirping me, it was honestly they were just assholes, and they were not. So that was good. But starting with game one, obviously 12-9 loss. We were up 9-2 in the fifth inning. The wind was howling that day, straight out. I know we said the ball or that park plays small, and the wind was anything hit decent in the air was gone. I will say every single home run ball was hit well. I mean, Richie's almost cleared the fucking batter's eye. That ball was crushed.
It's like hitting over the boat in Great American.
Yeah. No. So I do want to come out and say, like, I do not personally think there were a whole lot of cheap homers.
Yeah.
But this Oklahoma State offense all weekend, they played kind of how we expected. We just handed them the free bases. They did not rack up a bunch of hits and play a lot of team baseball. We just gave them way too many free bases. I mean, game one, we walked 5 guys and hit 4. And then also, and I know like when you watch or you look at this game, you're like a 9-2 lead and we blew it. But in my opinion, too, walking away, it was like the wind was howling out. And we didn't score after the 5th inning either. Like,
no.
And it was one of those offensive games where I get it. We gave up 12 runs and we had a big lead, but it was just one of those back and forth offensive games where like we needed to score as well. Like no lead was safe in that game. So it was definitely just disappointing.
Because we were scoring, holding them. And then it was like hold ourselves, and just like hand it off. Like, here you go type of thing. Like there was fight, but there wasn't fight. So
we've talked about it too. It's like if one side of the ball necessarily isn't at their best that game, the other side's going to have to pick it up. That's the only way you're going to win college baseball games. If one side's not at their best, the other side has to be pretty damn good.
And
the offense started great, but I mean, they just couldn't finish the job. Like you said, John, the last 4 innings, we didn't score.
And the thing that made me the most mad probably is they walked us 11 times and hit a batter. I mean, we had 12 free bases where like with the wind and the conditions with 12 free bases, like it was should have scored more than that. I don't know. I was a little disappointed with everything on Friday. It was a great start, but the final 4 innings were brutal.
I'll say, I was watching at work, saw 9-2, and I left work. I was like, Bearcats are like, my phone was on low percentage. I didn't even listen to it on the way home. Usually I crank that thing up, listen to it on the way home. Didn't do that. Got home and I was like, oh, we might be in trouble, boys. We might be in some trouble.
Yeah.
And then, I saw the grand slam. I believe that was what gave him the lead. Was the grand slam. Is his name Brueggemann?
Yeah.
He hit like 3 homers this weekend. I think.
I mean, that dude seems to always have us by here and just squeeze them.
That's a big boy.
It's like you can't let the best. I mean, you always say in college baseball, you never let the best guy beat you single-handedly. And somehow, I think in the last 3 years since we've started playing him, 3 years, I think he's hit probably like close to double-digit home runs against us.
I will say he's been a dude. Like he's hit a bunch of homers for years. He's been on that team for a while. I will say Richie is that name circler, at least this week and right now. Colin Ritchie. I think he's definitely leading the team. He's got 19 home runs. And he's up there in average. The dude can swing it. Little lefty. Their center fielder.
They have you were in the park too, but John, tell us about those lefties they got. I mean, what they have, like 5, 6, 7, 8?
Well,
one was like 8 lefties against Nate Taylor. And a switch. It was 7 lefties, a switch hitter, and a righty is what I'm pretty sure.
Seth Logue actually came up to me because I got there early Friday, and him and Coach Sheriff had a minute to come up and say what's up. And that's what he told me. He was like, they got 8 lefties going today. I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, well, they must not know, or they must know that we have like 1 out of the pen. And all year he's came in and just thrown like 2 batters at a time. So, with the wind like today, put in a bunch of lefties and get the ball up in the air.
See what happens.
But, I do think that hurts us a little bit, though. Like not having – I mean, we've had Hudson Johnson and Garula, who both guys actually had some success over the weekend. And we talk about we do need to talk about this moment Friday, and it was the grand slam that gave them the lead. I remember us texting back and forth, and I was standing right by the bullpen, and Hudson Johnson was warming up to face. Was it Brueggemann? He hit 2 homers Friday, right?
Grand slam.
And we all thought that, especially because when Coach Bischel goes out to the mound, a move is being made.
Yeah.
Like, if not, Coach Sheriff has been going out there every time. Mm-hmm. And he went out there and stuck with our guy. And then the next batter, we brought in Hudson Johnson to face a righty. And I think that it was just a little sour. But It's like coulda, shoulda, woulda, right?
Yeah,
But
it's also, I mean, like they know a lot more than we do being in the dugout in the game.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, I mean, it does hurt. It's you just look at it and it's like, I mean, there could have been 100 things we do not know about, and it's just like a little, like you said, sour, a little sour.
Yeah, it was just one of those things after the fact that you think about, like, well,
yeah, we have like hindsight bias 1,000%. It's like, but yes, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, the offense didn't really pick us up after this fifth inning. We didn't really score any more runs after that. Or we didn't.
Yeah, it was just one of those, like, even when it was 9-2, I didn't feel like a lead was safe just because I know they can hit and the ball was carrying. So it just felt like one of those games where a lead was never safe on both sides, and we just couldn't score after the fifth, which sucked. Mm-hmm. But let's move on from that one. That one was honestly the most painful. Game 2 was pretty damn painful too, honestly. This was the cleanest game out of all of them for the first 6 or 7 innings. It was a 4-3 ball game. And then we gave up a grand slam, and that snowballed even more, lost 11-3. Again, walked 12 guys on the mound, and that's kind of what it came down to. I mean, you guys know how college baseball is. I will say there was a couple balls all weekend too. I know we made a couple errors, and there were also just some balls that I thought plays that could have been made that weren't marked as errors. So, yeah, I just think all around from a pitching side as far as throwing strikes, and then defensively it was not our best weekend. And you guys know how that is in college baseball, and especially against a team that can hit. Like, I literally was getting the feeling in the ballpark all weekend. Like, as soon as a walk and then we booed a double play ball, it's like, well, this kid's hitting a 3-run homer. Like, it's just how it works. And unfortunately, it's how it worked all weekend.
Yep. You know what, Dwayne? It didn't work. It didn't work in our favor.
Not at all. Not at all. So that one was tough. Battled. I thought that was the best crowd was Saturday night. It was cool. There were some fans there at least to start, and yeah, we were in it. There were a couple opportunities that we had offensively early that we just couldn't cash in. That Mario Pesca dude did. That was definitely the best outing of the weekend for OK State. He had a solid game. Big dude. He was chucking it. But
how many ballparks you been to? Out of Big 12, you've been to BYU, Oregon State, and what else? Or Oklahoma State?
I've been to BYU, Kansas, Oklahoma State, and then I have been to TCU, but I haven't seen a game there.
Nice. Okay, what do we think? I guess Oak State above Kansas and BYU.
Easy. Oak State is the best facility in the Big 12.
Yeah. How insane would sell that place out?
That's one of the things that the guy mentioned. I was talking to a couple people. He's like, dude, don't get me wrong. Like, it is unbelievable, but we may have built it a little bit too big. Like, they just don't quite get the fan support to like really fill it up.
Yeah.
But I think if they start, I mean, you got to remember
in the
too,
middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And like you're relying on places like that just to have like what is it, 75% students, I would say, and then like 25% donors and families at that rate. But you're like banking on students to show out. But it's like a place like obviously Mississippi State, like all those SEC schools that show out, but it's more like students than other things.
I would say yes and no, because I would say it's probably more 50-50 than 75-25.
I think there's enough people in Stillwater and that love Oklahoma State to pack out that stadium.
Yeah. I mean, they do it for football games.
And even when they're bad, like they'll show up at least for the beginning of the and
when were they?
You got to remember too, like they've hosted since they've had that ballpark, they've hosted like 3 or 4, I think at least 2. I thought 3 regionals.
They hosted a Super too, didn't they? Against Arkansas?
Oh yeah, maybe.
maybe, but
like 21.
no, because I think every
22.
time they've hosted, I think they haven't made it out of the regional.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
maybe
people
not.
are just starting to get like, I mean, when you go there and look at the outfield wall, like as far as
Sick.
the old heads, like, dude, they've been to Omaha a lot.
Because
And
where were they gross? Like, was it early 2000s or like teens?
their best years were like the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Oh. And then,
But no, I mean, they've been prominent
yeah. Because I think
always.
I saw, well, did you post that picture or somebody else post that picture of the old stadium? That was
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where that was. We didn't even get to even see that in the vicinity we were at. Like, how far was that away?
It's not too far. Probably like a block or two.
Damn.
Yeah.
I just looked it up, by the way, too, John. You're right. That was just a regional, not a super. In 2022, when they lost to Arkansas.
But no, I think if they can host, I think if they can like win a regional, get to a super, or get to Omaha, some people might start showing up a little bit more.
Yeah.
I also did go on a weekend when they moved the Friday game up to 1 o'clock, and then it was Easter Sunday. So
yeah,
tough weekend as far as fans. But
how about that? What was that hot dog you got? I forget the name of it.
The Curdy dog.
The Curdy dog.
Good. I
That's
don't know.
Potato chips on top of that thing.
So it started. Someone told me about it. I believe it started. There were a couple different like old stories that were cool. So I hope I'm remembering the same one. But I believe it was a lady who started it just like on a cart, and she would go and just sit outside of like the street where all the bars are.
Yeah.
And just sit there from like 12 to 2. And she like made a killing just making these different dogs and different stuff. And then now they have their own restaurant in Stillwater. But yeah, it had like cream cheese. There was a little bit of chili, but it was nothing like Skyline or like a chili I'd ever had. It was a different kind of chili.
It was a Texas chili without beans.
Are you rating that top 3 dogs you've ever had?
It was something.
It was something.
Yeah,
sorry to get us
someone
off
asked me if it was
topic.
No, we're good. We're good. Someone asked me if it was better than a Coney. I'd say no, but it'll service. It was damn good. I liked it.
There is probably an aspect to a hot dog, like if you get a little crunch in there, it's not something that a lot of people are used to having.
No, it was good.
Like putting
that's
chips
my
on a
Skyline
turkey.
hack, is I fill my Conies with crackers, give it a little crunch.
Yeah. Or that's just like putting chips on like a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
After getting out of the pool, that was such a play.
With a Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew.
Yeah, pruny hands making a sandwich, crunching up chips on it. Gosh.
Good times. Good
times.
God,
good
we're
times.
old.
All right, we're off track.
Yeah. Game 3, we walked 9 guys, hit a batter. Game 3, I will say, we did hit some balls very hard and had nothing to show for it. It was one of another guy who covers college baseball, Micah Butel, who I've met a few times. He came to the Sunday game. I was watching it with him for a little bit. And there were a couple plays where he was just like, God, that's when you know the weekend is not going your way. And I'll say we didn't play well at all. Like, I'm not going to blame it on that. But there were definitely some things that just didn't go our way, especially on Sunday. Yeah.
So that's
Tough
so
series.
defeating. That's so, like you guys know, that's so defeating when you're like rolling that Sunday game down 0-2 and like you just roping balls all over the yard right at guys. You're like, we can't catch a break. And then like 6th, 7th inning, you're just like, all right, let's get on the plane. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here. And I will say, like, even in the late innings, the boys were still having fun or trying to. I mean, shoot, it was tough at that point. I was literally debating I had the hotel room already booked, and I was sitting on my phone in like the 7th inning, like, should I just go home now? Should I just leave?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something at a point where we want to give up or like you don't want to give up in the dugout, but it's just like that feeling, and the feeling is so brutal. And it's just like, holy, like
I also, I'm sure no one on the team or staff like really read into it much at all. But obviously it's been a tough stretch for us over the past couple weeks, and I drove a long way. I wanted everyone to, I just wanted them to feel like we still had their back. Like I was going to sit in the stands for those full 9 innings on Sunday, and I did.
No doubt.
I'm sure that didn't go unnoticed, John. I'm sure they appreciate it.
I was going to say, I did not talk to really anyone all weekend. It just, it wasn't
a lot of,
wasn't that kind of weekend. But
not a lot, but like, did a handful of families make it down, or were you?
There were a few. I talked to the Coates and the Natilis were both there.
That's right. He said he was Mr. Natili said he was heading down there, so he wanted to see it, check it out.
Yeah, I talked to them a little bit. I believe I saw Christian Mitchell's parents. There were some other people there. I'm not totally sure.
It's just a hard place to like get into, like I don't know. You're either flying to Tulsa and you're driving, or you're spending that extra cheese to get in Stillwater.
I want to say the Natilis flew to like Dallas, then Tulsa, and then drove an hour. So like, Nag's day, Nag's travel day.
I mean, those travel days. For anybody listening, they're not fun when you got to fly to 3 different airports and then drive.
Yeah, for parents making the haul, it's not your travel day. Probably doesn't look too much different than ours.
No. I think the boys flew into Tulsa and bused from Tulsa.
Yeah, I think that's what we did too. If I remember quickly.
Which our bus ride after a direct flight, that's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
It's
we could talk a lot about that, but to boil it down,
shout out to those fans out.
Made the trip. 2 series for the Bearcats in Stillwater, and we have not pulled away a win yet there. So might be a place that's tough to play. Someone said.
The story goes on.
I was going to do some history because one of my brother's friends, Nick Statterman, who played football for the Bearcats, joined me for Saturday's game. He lives in Oklahoma City now, and he said he's came up for like 1 football game at some point, I believe 1 or 2 basketball games. He said he's over in Stillwater. He's never seen a Bearcat win, and I think we've struggled across all sports. I think we won there in football though this year. I want to say we played there.
I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember exactly, but it seems maybe there's a little bit of haunt or some stank or something that's in that city or town, college town, that we need to just get rid of. Someone's got to break through.
Yeah, they have our number in the Big 12. That is for sure. Talking about some numbers real quick before we talk about Baylor here. Standings right now. Not great, but we know how this conference can play. Lot of ball left. We are at 4-8. We are at they don't have numbers on
sitting
here.
in second last because Houston and Arizona are 3-9. So
so third to last.
Third. I guess that is third.
UCF is at the top at 10-2. Kansas is in second at 9-3. Those two actually play each other this weekend. West Virginia is at third at 8-4. And then Arizona State, TCU, Baylor are all 7-5. Oklahoma State is 6-6. And then K-State, Texas Tech, Utah, and BYU are all 5-7. We are at 4-8. And then Houston and Arizona are below us at 3-9. Not great. Not where I pictured us to be right now, but let's be positive about where we're at right now. A 22 RPI. So the non-conference schedule, which we played really well in, is proving to, UAB and Jack State are playing very good baseball right now.
Yeah.
And that's helping us out a lot.
7 weekends left. I think we're not in a terrible spot. We're in an okay spot to easily bounce back. And
you said 22 RPI, John?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking it up, but maybe I'm looking at the wrong site.
We're not even halfway into conference play. I think we're sitting in an okay spot. I mean,
we're not in the spot we want to be, right? Like, we're not in a good spot, but I don't think it's a panic, like, we're done, season's over.
Right,
like,
no doubt.
What did we talk about? Well, last year, lost to Big 12 or lost to BYU at home, got swept by Arizona, still got swept by West Virginia later on. And they hit a stretch like this, or you guys did, right? I mean, there was a stretch where, like, it was a rut for sure, right?
Yeah, there was a big time stretch before we went to Kansas. I can't remember who it was, but I think it was that middle of the season, West Virginia. And then
TCU, maybe.
TCU. We took one from.
Stole the Sunday game. I remember you stole the Sunday game at TCU.
Stole that game. But, I mean, there's definitely stretches. I mean, you can't obviously suffer from more than 2 probably sweeps in a year. But you obviously wanted to get those couple series in the beginning that you played against BYU. Get another one from Kansas maybe. But, the 7 weekends left, I think we're in a fine spot.
I kind of believe, I forget who said this. It was some big leaguer when talking about hitting. He kind of said, like, 10% of the year you're seeing the ball like it's a beach ball. 10% of the year you can't even see the ball. And 80% of the year is somewhere in between. And you got to find a way to make it work in between in the 80%, right? Yeah. I kind of think it's somewhat similar in a season. Like, I feel like there's probably 15 to 20% where you're playing really good, 15 to 20% where nothing's going for you, and then there's a middle range. Yeah, I feel like even playing well at the beginning of the year, I still go back to what we talked about, that, like, we haven't really put a whole lot of complete games together. So in my head, I'm kind of thinking, like, we haven't hit that stretch of really good ball yet, and I think that could be true.
I would agree with that.
I mean, we catch fire.
15. Yeah. I mean, what you were saying, John, like maybe 15% of the year, everything's clicking, like pitching, defense, base or hitting, base running, everything. 15% of the year, maybe none of it's clicking. Like pitching bad, can't hit, defense making errors, everything. And then that last, we'll call it 70%, is where you have to try to find a way to win games in late innings, back half of games. So yeah, I would agree with that. That's actually a pretty good point. This might be a little bit of a down stretch. I don't feel like we've hit one before this, at least not to my eyes. I felt like probably the beginning of the year was more part of that big chunk as the 70%. And what you were saying, I don't think we've played our best baseball yet, which is the last couple of years I feel like has proven to be true, is we start playing pretty damn good baseball about halfway through Big 12 play and finish out the last half of the conference play pretty hot.
Yeah, because how many times did we talk about before earlier in the year, like, we found a way to win, move on, right? Like, I still just don't think we've played, like, to the full potential of what I think the team can play to. I know we had some guys banged up as far as Marsh being out, and then I know some guys even this weekend, like I think Bischel said somewhere, it might have been in his thing with Tim Adams, like, there's just some guys that was a little bit precautionary, and there's a lot of ball left, and it was just a rough out there. Yeah, it was a rough weekend
for the big series later in the season.
Yeah. Okay. As far as stats, do we want to look at season stats or conference only
for Baylor?
Both teams. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I meant like upcoming series.
Are we talking?
and where we're at right now.
Yeah, let's see.
We shout out the win last night.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, no, and I did want to talk about that. Like, that was
Miami's a good team. They're having a good year.
No, Miami's good. Like, we should win the game.
I think we were in the same regional last year.
Yeah,
they're a solid program,
and they've been playing good baseball again this year. And I do want to say that was one of those games that we've been playing in the past 2 weeks that we find a way to lose. And I just think it was, even though it was a midweek and it was Miami and we expected to win, it was
little bit
It's
of a
got to be
turning point.
got to be a decent morale booster.
Get us back on track, and then we're going to roll in here, and Baylor's coming into town. I don't think we haven't hosted Baylor yet. Am I correct in saying that, Kling? You guys didn't play them last year.
Yeah, we did not play them last year. We went there our first year, Cole, when you were with us in 24. So we went there, and I think we only took one from them our first year.
Yeah, I think we won Friday, and then we lost the last two.
Yeah.
But no, this first time Baylor's coming to Clifton, which makes me feel more confident. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the first year in the Big 12 when teams first came to Clifton, and we've talked about it, like we're good at home. We win games at home. I feel like teams were just kind of like caught off guard, like, oh, little Cincinnati joins the Big 12, and then they roll into Clifton and like they lose the series. And they're like, oh shit, maybe we need to give a little respect to these guys. So I'm a little excited about this and gives me a little more confidence.
If you look at the numbers, we dropped the series against Kansas, so we won't lose a series at home the rest of the year. We shouldn't, right?
Shouldn't.
I won't say. When you look at the past 2 years, I think it was like one Big 12 series lost all season at home, and usually it's like earlier in the year. Could have just been last year, but no, I am kind of labeling this as a borderline must-win series. So
I'm gonna I'm gonna label it as like you got to play good baseball series. Like if somehow you lose this series, it better be damn close.
Yeah, and I'm going to go a step ahead of that, and I'm going to say you better play your best brand of baseball you have all year this weekend.
Because you guys you do know who we have the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's top two out of three of the teams in the conference.
Yeah.
We could go to UCF, which I want to say we've had their number in the Big 12. We were talking about OK State having ours. Even though this goes back to the AAC, we've had their number for
quite a while.
Now.
We played pretty well there, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
We've always played pretty well there, even going back to the American.
And then after that, we get West Virginia at home. I guess I'm just like, I think both of those teams are really good. I think we could win both of those series.
Easy.
Don't get me wrong at all. But if you're counting on losing one of those series, I think this is a must win at home against Baylor. I think we got to get two.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it right now, I 1000% believe we're going to take 2, maybe 3 from Baylor, kick Xavier's ass in the midweek, and we're going to go down to Orlando and take 2 or 3 from them too. And then we're going to catch fire. And then shit's going to be throwing flames at the Bearcats for the rest of the year. And Kendall Rogers is going to be all over us.
Well, that's kind of the thing though, is like, we need to feel good going down to Orlando.
Oh, right? Buddy, like, tell me.
I don't want that to be our turnaround weekend. I want it to start. Yeah. I want it to have started last night.
The best way to start it though is at home in like in Clifton. Like you're gonna get comfortable here. You're gonna start playing better baseball. This is what we need to do. When we've seen it all year, they hit the crap out of the ball at home.
Yeah,
weather looks phenomenal this weekend, especially with that game time move up tomorrow night.
Yeah,
so.
And that's what we're going to need to do as we start to talk about Baylor a little bit more, talking about these numbers. Let's see.
Way,
okay.
I think we just go conference numbers. I
feel like that's what I just pulled up.
Say that's the better representation of how they're playing like right now.
Yeah. So I thought their pitching numbers were a little bit better. It's somewhat similar to ours. Their non-conference pitching numbers must be pretty good. Baylor has a 5.62 ERA. That's 6th in the conference, and we are sitting at 10th with a 6.08. They do have some guys with some decent pitching numbers. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think of them more as a defensive and a pitching team more than an offensive. So I like if the weather's hot in Clifton and the bats get hot. Batting average wise, we're at 10th at 273. They are right behind us at 11th at 270. I'll just say that I still think our lineup is better than theirs. I say that confidently.
Yeah, top to bottom, wall to wall, neighbor to neighbor right there. I think it is.
And that's also like talking about our guys a little bit. Quentin Coates cooled off a little bit this past weekend. Like it happens. He was on an absolute heater. But we've seen some guys step up around that. Like Jack Natilli has all year.
That dude.
Enzo Infelice is
That guy.
still very impressive. Like, don't give me. He's had a couple at bats where it's like, okay, that one just got a little quick on him. Like he's a freshman, but he has a plan up there, and it's to absolutely destroy fastballs.
Yeah.
And I think pitchers even know that, and he's not missing them right now. I think he's leading the team in batting average too. He's at second.
Second, I just saw Pitts is back up top hitting 365.
Yeah, and he's a guy who, like, no one had great offensive numbers over the weekend, but Pitts was a guy who gave you a quality at bat. I mean, 90% of the time he was up there and squared up a couple balls. He did have that Oppo homer on Sunday. He's maybe, I don't know. He's impressed me as much as anybody as far as like making that jump in year two, I think.
I think my thing with him is his strike zone like discipline. Like he doesn't chase. And for even me as like a young hitter, I know maybe like depending on what game it was, blah, blah, blah. Like you can jump. That was what, 4 or 5 years ago for me. But like the game has changed. It changes every year. But his strike zone discipline is like very, very impressive for still being a true sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with pitching getting better every year, like hitters are going to get better, and him not chasing is why he's having success right now. And we even talked about that with Natilli early in the year. Like he didn't have the hottest start, but he wasn't chasing pitches. Like he was taking walks when they were given to him. And Pitts is a guy that if he takes walks, like has more of an ability to, like he's just a quicker guy. He's going to steal more bases than Natilli will.
Yeah.
So it pays off more for the offense, but his ability to like be so patient at the plate and his discipline in the strike zone is very impressive to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, he had great at bats. I thought Natilli had really, really good at bats all weekend too. I mean, even when he wasn't squaring balls up, he looked like a professional hitter up there.
Yeah, I see.
Fun to watch.
I like what you said about Natilli, but I'm going to jump back to Pitts. I mean, that dude, like, if he keeps progressing year after year, like, I don't see him being here after next year. So that dude just keeps up his discipline and keeps up his awareness of his field and walks around. Like, I saw some tweet, was like, he walks around like he is a big leaguer. I was like, dude, he keeps acting like I'm not going to toot his horn this that much, but hopefully he doesn't listen to this too much. But I think he just needs to keep his head down and keep working because there's so much future in that dude's eyes right now. Like he can go play for years beyond college.
It seems like he has like a really good head on his shoulders too. Like from watching this weekend, like he was probably the only guy. There were some students in right field Saturday and Sunday that were chirping him a little bit. And like, you know how much of a competitor he is. So you know how serious he's taking it. And like, he's still just messing around with them and like dancing and like, I don't know. It was impressive that he's like.
Versus when someone chirped me, I step in the box and I'm going deep so I can run back out there and they're going to shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and then I strike out.
Thinking about it. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That dude's got a bright future.
Yeah. But 3 starters I think we'll see for Baylor. Lucas Davenport on Friday with a 2.52 ERA. Zach Wallace on Saturday with a 4.75. And Ethan Calder with a 4.08 ERA on Sunday. I believe those are all – I know those aren't like wow ERA numbers, but if I pull up the numbers here, all of those guys – actually, no, because this is giving me just conference. Let me see overall. Okay. Never mind. I was wrong on that. Those are their full season ERAs, and from looking at the conference ERAs, those would be in the top 10 to 12, but that's not the case. But anyway, they are going to be able to pitch it pretty well. I guess compared to, Oklahoma State did throw it for as up and down as their bullpen was. They relied on a couple dudes. I think they had one of their two guys through Friday and Sunday and threw really well both days. They did have some guys that throw well. But I think this is going to be one of the better. I think this pitching staff's better than BYU. 3 weeks ago, better than Kansas, but not anymore. Those guys are absolutely rolling. I don't know. Big 12's all over the place. It's hard to predict.
John, I think it was similar to even the first year we played them. I felt like their identity, it was not offensive by any means. It was, we're going to pitch it and play defense. And that's how they beat us, because we hit the ball on Friday night. But after that, struggled a little bit. They made some plays, and they pitched it really, really well. So they didn't beat the crap out of us by any means. We were in the game pretty much at all times, but it was more of a defensive approach, and that was more of their identity. I would say was, hey, we're gonna pitch it pretty well. We're gonna play clean defense behind them. We're gonna try to scratch a few runs here or there. If the bats heat up, we're probably gonna win the game. So that's kind of how I would compare it. Is even not that everyone on here was watching us in 2024 at Baylor, but just me, I remember playing them, and that was kind of their method of operation was, hey, we're going to pitch it pretty well and play solid defense, and then we're going to just try to scratch runs here and there any way we can.
Yeah, and I think that that's not going to change. I think our prime focus, one, I would love to have a warm Clifton weekend at home where we just rake. That is one. With them being more of a defensive team, obviously. Two, with an offense like that, we can't have 30 free bases in a weekend again, right? If they're not going to hit the cover off the ball, you got to throw strikes and play defense. So I think that's probably honestly the most important thing as far as bouncing back too, and not doing it last weekend, right? We just got to throw the ball over the plate this weekend.
I agree 1,000%. They don't, if you look at their home run numbers, 12's the leader. Second place is 8. After that, it's 3. So they're not going to be hitting the ball out of the ballpark too terribly much.
Hopefully not.
So hopefully not. Up to this point, they haven't. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. No. But no, last thing, as far as our bullpen, we talked about every single one of these guys early on in the year, right? We've seen success out of all of these guys. It just seems like right now we don't have that one guy that we know we're going to get out of. I'd say the one guy right now is Morrow, and he's just had an outing or two where he struggled. It's going to happen. But I think it's just been tough that we don't know who to go to in what spot right now. But I it's not, I don't know. I don't think all these guys suck is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
They shine. It's college baseball. We've all been a part of it. To people who haven't, you got guys that could be the most talented player ever, and they're going to have times, I feel like, where they're going to struggle a little bit. Especially when they build up a reputation of, they always come through in this moment. They always do that. We're rolling this guy out in the 7th or the 8th. He's going to throw a shutout inning. Stuff's going to happen. It's baseball. It's a very unique sport to where no matter talent-wise, the most talented team does not always win. So I think, like you said, we've seen all of them have success. They're very much capable of doing so, but it's not going to happen every single time out. It's just not.
All right, let's wrap this thing up on a positive note. Let's get back to
what do we got here, Johnny?
We got everything right in front of us. Our RPI's at 22. We got a home series against Baylor, and then we're playing the two of the top 3 teams in the conference who I feel good about playing UCF anytime, any place, don't matter.
Anywhere.
And West Virginia, I like getting them at home. I do.
Yeah.
And they've also I think they just lost the series to UCF. It's not like they've been playing bad, but no, we'll see. I think they were playing really good baseball though, so maybe we talked about
unbelievable weekend for weather in the Queen City. So we would like to welcome our Baylor Bears from Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
And we'll put B to A. We'll do it good, and we'll have fun with it.
What did Coach Bischel say to you guys in that one pregame speech? Like, make them hate this city right here. I hope we make the Baylor Bears
coming to Clifton.
Yeah, make them hate coming here.
I hope they never want to come back after this weekend.
It's going to be, and I love hearing that.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on doing, like, maybe just roll through each of us like a series prediction, maybe?
What do we say? Like we do on Saturday mornings, whoever joins us at 9 a.m.
Hold off, or do you want to maybe roll? Like, I have one in mind. I think this is prime opportunity, but
okay, yeah, let's hear it.
What do we say?
I mean, I think this is a sweep, and it's got sweep written all over it. But that's just me. Like, I don't know, just being in college baseball for 4 years and then kind of feeling the vibes of the team the last few years.
Hungry.
I think this has sweep written all over it.
I could see it. To me, if like, I think I gotta get the vibes of it. Like, I'm I'm a game by game guy.
I understand that. College baseball is very much game by game, so I can completely understand that.
And you guys know I love, like, when I bet on games, like, I love salvaging a Sunday, right?
Oh, yeah. We know.
And we've gotten screwed on it, right? But this is one of those where, like, if it's a statement win Friday, and then I'll even say that, like, statement win Friday, sweep. And then Friday, Saturday, no salvage this weekend. They'll go foot on the pedal.
Nate Taylor doesn't lose at home on Fridays. Seth, Coach Seth Logue was actually chewing me out about that. He's like, you're not going to – it was like I didn't make a Friday a couple weeks ago. He's like, you're not going to come watch Nate Taylor at home on Friday. He doesn't lose. And he won – I think he beat Kansas. And he had like 11 strikeouts, and I was like, holy.
Shutout. 7 shutout.
I think you just changed my mind for tomorrow, Kling. I got to go see Nate Taylor.
We need you guys in the yard.
Yeah, I got to go see Nate Taylor.
Yeah, I think Nate Taylor shoves once again on Friday. We get a W. We bite the nails, chew on the screws, and we pull one out on Saturday, 6-4. And then we come in on Sunday, and we're like, who – do we have left in the pen? Who do they have left in the pen? Hot Sunday, 80 degrees. I think the Bearcats take it 13-11. I think we get a sweep.
Yeah, no, like Sunday, I think we might have to score like 20 runs to win, but we will. Like, we will score like 22 runs.
It has sweep written all over it.
Yeah.
It just
take the brooms out.
It makes sense.
And since we don't preview the midweek, can we kick Xavier's ass one time?
Yeah.
One time.
Do that.
We got him at home. Maybe we'll roll out for that one too, Kling.
I'll be there. I'll 1,000% be there on Tuesday.
Just start chirping Billy O'Connor.
Yeah.
Getting in his ear.
Maybe throw a hot dog at him.
He did give the full explanation of the Nuxall, which
I appreciated that. And even when he did that, he did not like –
No. Not at all.
He discredited their Nuxall win this year because of the scheduling, which I appreciated.
Yeah. But once again, we lost another Nuxall, which kind of pisses me. We can't win that thing. I don't think
was the last time we won it, like 2002?
Oh, buddy. It's maybe been a minute.
Yeah, it's got to be like 06 or 02.
We cannot win that thing.
It's impossible.
But no, my response to him was – it was a little passive aggressive. It wasn't bad, but
did he tweet back at you?
Oh yeah, he when I sent out the tweet of like what the hell happened with the Joe Nuxall Classic, Xavier Baseball saying they won, and he laid it out to me in like 3 tweets.
I actually did appreciate it though, because we were all kind of
did.
Yeah,
it made sense.
All kind of confused about it, and then he kind of broke it down like the perfect way.
But a small part of my tweet, I said 2-0 sounds like this year's winner, so congrats on another. It's like a little, like, I don't know.
They play really well in that Nuxall, man.
They love.
Yeah.
He dominates Nux.
He must have like a incentive in his contract if he wins the Joe Nuxall.
The Nuxall Classic incentive.
Like what?
We might have to start our own fund. Like, we should do that. We should try to sponsor the Joe Nuxall Classic, sponsored by the Head First Podcast, and like incentivize it.
Yeah,
just put our faces on Nebraska all over. Just paint the yard with the Head First. Podcast.
That's got to be legal, right? Don't they for that NIT Vegas tournament? Like, don't the players get? Or is this like? Am I thinking of the NBA Cup?
I mean, NBA Cup does. I don't.
NBA, NCAA. It's like the same thing nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays I think they win that
like $4 billion to the ball through a hoop.
I'm sure they get Rolexes and flat screens and probably like a pair of Apple headphones. Like,
I don't know how much money we'd be able to put up, but I might seriously consider looking into sponsoring the Joe Nuxall Classic next year. Flying in for it for the midweeks. I'll have to stay for like 2 weeks just for back-to-back midweeks. Joe Nuxall Classic.
Yeah, and then hopefully have a weekend series, and then we can make 2 weeks out of it.
That's great. Awesome. This is great stuff.
That would be awesome.
Hey, we'll have to see in the fall when our schedule drops. So who knows?
Yeah.
We're down a major tangent right now, but I love it.
It's been good.
Even though I got tweeted back at my comment about the Prasco Park.
You were catching a little heat for that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You should have caught heat for that.
Dude, I have so many remarks to say about that because like people don't know the context. Like, I think it should be held at Great American. Hands down.
Yeah, it was. And then they don't let us do that anymore. So
I think and no, I put you in quotes. You made it sound better after we got on you. It was just your initial take.
Yeah.
Was word for word. Prasco Park is probably the worst venue in college baseball.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
I'd rather play it. They should hold that at like Elder.
That I would have much rather played at Prasco.
Elder High School. Did you see Bob's? Did you see Bob's response?
Yeah, Bridgetown Middle. I don't even know if they have
Bridgetown Elementary.
I don't even know if they have stands. That's awesome. Bridgetown West Side. Hopefully some West-Siders are listening to this.
Link's from the West Side. He'll play in a parking lot.
Yeah, I mean,
he hates Prasco for some reason.
Not playing there. Maybe as a fan. I didn't quite make that trip up there yesterday, but maybe as a fan.
Kling, you'd like it as a fan. Go get you a couple cheeseburgers, some kettle corn. You sit in your right and you enjoy the freaking baseball game. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, but we'll see. What other things you guys got going on tonight? It's Thursday.
I'm probably gonna watch some ball here. We got
May
9th playing Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Masters just wrapped up for the
Georgia
day,
Tech.
I think Masters just wrapped up for the day. So probably some
Florida State, Georgia Tech.
And that's the other one. I will be tuned into that. We got number 5 and number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we got a game 3, a good game 3 for our Saturday morning show. I'm looking forward to that.
If you're listening to this on your Friday morning commute to work, just make sure you tune in on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. We'll make our college game day picks. We'll shoot the shot with – yeah.
It's hot, but I'm still on top.
I am hot.
No. You have 2 5-0 weeks in a row.
Yes, I'm 10-0 in 2 weekends, buddy.
Kling's going crazy.
You're ahead of me now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
By like a few.
Me and Kling only had one game that was different last week, so my 4 wins to his 5. I'm still up there a little. I think I got like 3 games on you, maybe.
Yeah,
I've been taking some chances, and it just hasn't.
But it's respectable. You do it for the podcast, and we all appreciate it.
I try to diversify. I don't know if you guys watched some of those games though. Like USC,
did watch some of those games. And
USC was close.
Down to the wire. They won like 8-7. UCLA.
Team, I don't know if UCLA will lose another game. Like I literally don't think it's possible.
And like we said last week, I think that's not good for them.
We'll talk about that more on Saturday.
I was gonna say let's wrap this thing up and we'll just talk to each other if we want to after I finish this recording. But
if you're listening, you might as well. Like if you're listening on your commute to work on Friday morning commute to work, subscribe.
When you're stopped at a red light, I don't encourage texting and looking at your phone while driving. But if you're stopped, there's a little subscribe button there you could hit.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe button. Get to the ballpark. I know we haven't mentioned it. The Reds are playing really good ball right now, and We haven't since they started their season. Don't give up on us yet.
Yeah.
I know those are some of our converted fans are naturally just hardcore Reds fans.
Yep.
Hang with us. This team's going to get fun for the next 6 weeks or 2 months, however much longer we're playing ball. So hang with us. Get to the park for at least one game this weekend. Support the guys. We need to start getting hot now.
Yeah, we are.
I want
you to do this right now. If you made it all the way to the end of this episode, subscribe. But most importantly, DM Headfirst Podcast and just say something nice. Just encourage us. It's one time.
Yeah.
We'll shout you out next episode.
We'll give you some love. Might even give you a treat.
This is 2 weeks, 2 Bischel Ball weeks in a row where we've just had 0 comments or questions. So I thought we were maybe people are supportive. That tells me people are being supportive though, because I thought we were gonna have some shit aired out this week, honestly.
All right. Everyone's on a positive mindset. It's gonna be a great weekend. Get to the park.
Let's do this one. Hey, Cats on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Cats. Let's go. Let's have a weekend, boys.